Are you serious? Are you serious? Everybody get some coffee and just calm down. Thank you for the prayers. I'm starting to feel better. I feel like I've maybe turned the corner finally after absolutely 12 days of insane pain. Are you serious? And then the Jaguars. Did you see that game last night? Trevor Lawrence, Jacksonville Jaguars. What? We'll talk about that. But first, and guys, the Apocalyptic Showdown in Chicago, plus a lot of other current world events I want to share with you. Everybody calm down. But first, let me put a shout out right now for www.healthwithpaul.com. That's www.healthwithpaul.com. A 2025 survey has found that over half of U.S. adults are concerned about how fast their skin is aging, and they should be. 40% fixated on the random wrinkles, on dark spots. And if that sounds like it's you, you're not alone. No, because more and more people are now noticing these visible changes in their skin far earlier than expected. That's why I'm using this, guys, and I have been for 8 years, and this is why I look so much younger. Look at this, BioTrust. That's right. This stuff is tasteless. It's odorless. You'll become ageless. One scoop in the soup or in the coffee or in the smoothie or in the tea, whatever you want to do. Listen, look, this is a secret anti-aging weapon. I'm obsessed with this collagen thing, especially the fact that this is 5 different types of collagen, of plant and fish collagen. I've noticed that my skin seems to be smoother. I definitely know the wrinkles haven't started showing up yet, thank God. And I've experienced smoother skin, more elasticity, fewer fine lines, more youthful glow, a lot of happiness here. And look, and it's just amazing. No clumping, no dumping. Guys, seriously. And you save 51% off if you click on that link below right now. And you get a free VIP life, health, and fitness coaching for life. A free ebook titled The 14 Foods of Amazing Skin, and a 60-day satisfaction guaranteed. You just click on that link below the video. Go to www.healthwithpaul.com. That's www.healthwithpaul.com. You'll be glad that you did. I'm going to talk about the football game a little bit later, but it was amazing. I mean, it really was. Trevor Lawrence, I think he's starting to come into his own. Now, every year, Heidi and I go to at least one Jacksonville Jaguar football game. We should have went last night. It was a Monday night game. We should have went, but I just said, look, too much pain for the game, okay? Stayed home, watched it. It was an incredible football game, exciting. Of course, Heidi loves Patrick Mahomes of Kansas City, but she also likes the Jaguars. I have 2 favorite teams in the NFL. I can't help it. The Indianapolis Colts, because I'm from Indiana, and the Jacksonville Jaguars, because I've been living down here for almost 5 years. So I love both teams. They're both 4-1. This is unbelievable. And maybe Bama's back. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but Notre Dame is starting to come on. And there's some other things happening out there, but let's get serious for a moment. It is the Feast of Tabernacles. I just did a Patreon video, very important. I did a Patreon video. I got some inside information. This is the 2nd anniversary of the chaos, of the horrific, the Holocaust attack by Hamas, the Holocaust attack by Hamas on Israel. And it's 2 years where we are remembering the victims, their families, and still the hostages, and praying. Now, I've got some reports on that in this video today that I'm going to share with you that is critical. But the Chicago, let's go first to the Apocalyptic Chicago Showdown with ICE, with Trump, and what's going on there. Guys, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson, he's escalating the situation. He really is. He's escalating the situation by signing, he calls a Chicago mayor signs an executive order banning ICE from the city of Chicago, from city property amid sanctuary shutdown. I mean, so right now the government is in a shutdown, and this guy wants to go to war with Trump. He really wants a showdown with Trump. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson escalated the sanctuary city policies yesterday by signing an executive order designing city property as ICE-free zones. You can't do that. What are you doing? How about gang street zones? Gang street free zones. How about that one? Make that executive order and deal with the rapid crime and the drug lords and the gangbangers and the drive-by shootings and the chaos and the crime in the streets of Chicago. No, he wants an ICE-free zone. And while Chicago, Illinois has filed lawsuits to try to prevent President Trump from deploying the National Guard troops to address the anti-ICE protests that are going on right now. The mayor has accused Immigration and Customs Enforcement of conducting a forceful display of tyranny and has banned all federal agents from using city property and unwilling businesses as staging grounds for immigration operations, declaring ICE lines, and people are dying. The truth is, people are being killed. They have been being killed for quite some time in the streets of Chicago for years and years and years. Every weekend, 18, 20, 30, 40. We've had as many as 100 people shot in one weekend in Chicago, not Baghdad, not Beijing, Chicago. So, not Damascus, Chicago. And so this is getting very serious, guys. It's I know. Look, I don't want a police state. Nobody does. Nobody wants a police state. But nobody wants to try to live in a city where 40 people are shot, 50 people are shot, 60 people are shot every weekend. No, nobody wants to live like that, okay? So it's to me, this is insane. Trump is trying to push his weight around. He's trying to take control of the crime in America, the lawlessness. I understand that. And the only way you can fight fire is with fire. So you can understand why we don't want a police state, but at the same time, we don't want lawlessness. And that's what the Bible talks about. It's going to happen in the Bible in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, that during the time of the Antichrist, there will be lawlessness in the streets. And this is a serious, serious problem. Now, I'd like to also address some other things while we're at it. There's a bunch of things happening in Israel. We've got helicopters falling out of the sky in Sacramento. We've got TSA agents not showing up. We've got airports where there's no one in some of the towers. There's nobody there to work with the government shutdown. This is becoming unbelievable situation. It really is. I want to do this. I want to bring in for about 6 or 7 minutes. I want to bring in Bart Begley's. Bart Begley does a 12 noon live broadcast every day on his YouTube channel, BC Begley channel. You can subscribe to it, and he every day it's about a 30-minute program where he gives you a rundown on all the world news. I mean, this kid's getting up early, researching the whole world, putting it all together, and doing a noon show like I used to do before my stroke. And so I'm just want to give you a little taste of it because I was looking at some of the stuff he had dug up this morning. It's critical. So can I do that real quick here? Give me a second. Let's go to that. Yeah, right now. Here we go. This is a pretty powerful. It's not the entire 35-minute video he has here where he went live yesterday, but this will give you a snapshot of some of the key things happening right now. Wait a minute. Do I need to turn on? Can't.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is the news with BC Begley. I am your host, and it's Monday, October the 6th, 2025. And here are your top news stories for today. U.S. President Donald Trump redeployed 200 California National Guard troops from Los Angeles to Portland, Oregon, after a court had blocked his initial attempt to send troops there. The move bypassed a judge's order and sparked outrage from California Governor Gavin Newsom, who called it a, quote, breathtaking abuse of power, and then vowed to sue. The White House defended the action, saying it was necessary to protect federal property and personnel during violent protest. Critics, including Newsom and other Democratic leaders, accused President Trump of using the military as a political weapon against American citizens, the BBC has reported. The deployment followed similar actions in cities like Chicago, which is part of President Trump's broader crackdown on crime and illegal immigration-related unrest.
Most people are too lazy to do this, but it saves homeowners a fortune. I worked in construction for 20 years now, and it shocks me how many people pay a fortune to upgrade their gutters when there are services like the gutter remodel.
President Donald Trump said on Sunday that negotiations to implement his plan for releasing all remaining hostages held by Hamas and ending the Gaza war could be completed within days. U.S. officials say that President Trump and his team are pressing both Israel and Hamas to move quickly, calling the deal, quote, a great one for Israel and the Arab world. Talks in Egypt are set to finalize logistical details, including the scope of Israel's initial withdrawal and the list of Palestinian prisoners set to be freed. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said 90% of the agreement is already complete and warned that delays could jeopardize the entire deal, Axios has reported. The White House expects Trump envoys Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner to join the Cairo talks this week as the administration pushes for a resolution and reaffirms support for a two-state solution under strict security conditions. Federal agents shot a woman Saturday morning in Chicago's Brighton Park neighborhood after being boxed in by multiple vehicles, according to the Department of Homeland Security. Agents said they opened fire when one driver, later identified as 40-year-old Maramar Martinez, allegedly pointed a semi-automatic weapon at them. Martinez, who was wounded and then later released from the hospital, faces federal charges for assaulting law enforcement officers, along with another suspect, 21-year-old Anthony Ian Santos Ruiz. DHS said several officers were injured, vehicles were damaged, and special operations teams were deployed to restore order, CBS News has reported. The shooting sparked large protests marked by clashes between agents and demonstrators, while Chicago police said that they only assisted with safety and traffic control as federal authorities led the investigation. At least 14 people were shot, including 2 who were killed late Saturday night near downtown Montgomery, Alabama, police have said. The victims include several teenagers, with 7 under the age of 17. The 2 fatalities were identified as a 17-year-old and a 43-year-old. Police believe the gunfire began after a targeted individual returned fire, sparking chaos as others in the crowd also opened fire. 5 victims remain hospitalized with life-threatening injuries, and no arrests have been made, ABC News has reported. Montgomery's mayor called the incident a preventable dispute and announced a $50,000 reward for information leading to the shooter's capture. U.S. forces carried out another strike on a vessel allegedly carrying illegal drugs off Venezuela's coast, President Donald Trump announced on Sunday, warning that drug traffickers may soon face action on land. Speaking at Naval Station Norfolk, Trump praised the Navy for targeting what he called cartel terrorists, claiming the latest attack was part of a broader campaign to stop drug smuggling. The strike, the 4th or 5th in recent weeks, reportedly killed 4 people, though U.S. claims that the targets were drug traffickers have not been independently verified. Russia condemned the attacks as a dangerous escalation and then pledged support for Venezuela, while the U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth insisted he had full authorization for the operations, Al Jazeera has reported. Trump said the military buildup in the Caribbean has, quote, stopped drugs from coming in, and suggested a Phase 2 could soon target operations on land. 5 people, including 4 members of just one family, were all killed and tens of thousands left without power in Ukraine after massive overnight Russian missile and drone attacks, President Vladimir Zelensky has said. The strikes, which targeted multiple regions, including Lviv, Zaporizhia, and Odessa, involved more than 50 missiles and nearly 500 drones, this according to Ukrainian officials. Lviv suffered its largest assault since the war began, prompting widespread blackouts and suspension of public transport. Poland and NATO scrambled fighter jets as some attacks near Polish airspace, while Russia claimed it struck Ukrainian military and infrastructure sites, the BBC has reported. Zelensky called for stronger air defenses and faster delivery of international aid, saying Ukraine must end Russia's, quote, aerial terror before winter intensifies. Syria has completed voting in its first parliamentary elections since the fall of the Assad regime, marking what officials called a key step in the nation's political transition. Counting continued late on Sunday, with the final results expected today, as early tallies showed no women winning seats so far, meaning President Ahmed al-Sharaa is likely to use his appointment powers to meet the 20% female quota. The vote fills 210 seats under a new system where 2/3 are elected and 1/3 appointed by the president. Elections were postponed in parts of Raqqa and other cities due to security and logistical issues, as those areas still remain outside of the government control, CNN has reported. The new parliament's main task will be drafting a constitution and preparing for direct elections, though analysts question its representatives given the exclusion of Kurdish, Druze, and other minority regions.
Why you should never charge your smartphone at night. 22 years as a cell phone repair engineer, and I'm
A Boston police cruiser was destroyed early Sunday morning during what authorities called a, quote, large-scale vehicle takeover involving more than 100 people near Mass Avenue and Tremont Street. Police said the crowd used fireworks, cones, and poles to attack cruisers and block traffic, with one cruiser catching on fire after being repeatedly hit with fireworks. The Boston Fire Department extinguished the blaze, but the vehicle was totaled. 2 Rhode Island men, an 18-year-old and a 19-year-old, were arrested and face multiple charges, including assaulting a police officer and property destruction, CBS News has reported. A similar takeover was reported in Randolph about 45 minutes earlier, and officials are investigating whether the incidents are connected.
It's crazy out there.
A 41-year-old New Jersey man was arrested early on Sunday outside St. Matthew's Cathedral in Washington, D.C. for allegedly possessing a Molotov cocktail, police have said. Officers assigned to the cathedral's annual Red Mass spotted the man camping in a tent on the steps around 6 a.m. local time and recognized him as someone previously barred from the premises. When he refused to leave, he was taken into custody without incident. Police said they found vials of liquid and possible fireworks in his tent, prompting the bomb squad and the arson task force to investigate, Fox News has reported. The area was secured, and authorities said there was no ongoing threat to the public. The man faces charges including unlawful entry, making threats, and possession of a Molotov cocktail.
So that's just a little bit there of Bart Begley's live broadcast he does every day, Monday through Friday at 12 noon on his channel. That's just a little bit of it there. And I think that he's doing a great job. He's doing a great job. Yes, his voice is a lot like mine. And so is Paul Jr.'s, for that matter, those two. And Brock, I think, has a little bit more distinct voice. So somebody's got to keep us all sane here. Are you serious? So that was just a little snapshot. And you could see that the violence, the lawlessness, especially in America, in our streets, and most of it now is being politically motivated. And so it's because the beast, we're talking about the beast. So here we are in this Feast of Tabernacles, such an important time period where we have to start looking at what's happening. And today, now, Israel Hall today is in Jerusalem and is actually going to be singing and playing the sax with one of the popular messianic gospel singers of Israel, Eliana, and they're going to be doing, and they've been doing a concert this morning early at the Garden Tomb. They've already done that. They did a concert at the Garden Tomb early this morning. I bet you that was pretty amazing. And so, wow, on the Feast of Tabernacles, and this being a very important day, the second anniversary of the Holocaust attack by Hamas on Israel, certainly it is a time to reflect on that. And so as you're sending in your Feast of Tabernacle offerings, you can do that. Simple. And guys, when you do, you should pray for your families and for your finances and for the hostages and their families. I really, really highly recommend it. Thank you guys for praying for my healing. Yes, I am healing. My jaw is still swollen and there's still pain in the jawbone. As I had extensive oral surgery about 12 days ago. And it was a 3-hour surgery, and bone grafting was done, and that kind of thing. So I've been in a severe pain. I'll be honest with you. I'm hurting right now, but not as bad as I have been, and that makes a little joy in my life at this moment. At this moment, okay. So, and I know it was the prayers of God's people. I just really, really thank all of you for praying, and I'm feeling a little better. I feel like I'm still eating soup. So when you go through about 11 days of nothing but soup, you start thinking about. I did have a little bit of pumpkin pie because it's soft, and I did have yesterday about a half a pancake because it was soft. But, when you're doing soup, you can learn how to like a lot of different kinds of soup. Chicken noodle soup because of the broth. Some soup at the Japanese restaurant because they have some really good brothy kind of soup with some soft noodles in it. Last night I had bean and bacon, which was about the most wasn't as soupy, it's more, and I ate it, but it was pretty painful. Got through that. So yeah, not an easy deal. Okay. Not an easy deal. And I think that if we could get the jaw pain down, we'll be good. Okay. We'll be good. But I'd like to read from my book, Revelation 9:11, which, oh, by the way, it's ranked 95 right now in Christian eschatology on Amazon.com. And it's ranked 65 on the audiobook. So if you haven't got Revelation 9:11, you can go get it at Amazon.com. It's also at Barnes & Noble. It's also at Books A Million. It's also at Target and Walmart, all of it online. But Amazon is where we mainly get our ratings at. And you also, if you have gotten the book, and a lot of you have, okay, a lot of you have, if you would like to go back to Amazon, if you bought it from Amazon, go back and leave your review. It's right now, it's a 4.8 on the reviews. Okay, it's stars. It's 4.8 stars out of 5. It's doing great. There's been a lot of people leave reviews that have been very, very, very encouraging, and just tell us what you think of the book. And it's a blessing. I really love reading the reviews. And the more reviews we get, the more Amazon pushes it. So I'd really appreciate that. If you've already gotten the book and you've read it, give us a review. Go over to Amazon and do that. Now, if you'd like an autographed copy of the book, you can go to my website and get it there. Order it from me directly, and I've got about 100 left. And I go into the closet over here. I pull out a book. I sign it to you personally, and a private note. Every private note is different. So if you want one of those, you can do that by going to my website at paulbegleyprophecy.com. Now, I'd like to read, if you want to listen to it, the audiobook, Go to Amazon.com or go to Audibles and order it right now, and you can be listening to it right after this video if you want. And it's really cool. I read it myself, so I'm the one reading it. All right, I want to read to you right now, though, a page out of the book. And really, this has to do with, are we opening the door to hell? Okay, which is what Apollyon does. But it's because of the chaos and you have to understand, the chaos that's going on, it's not organic. It's being orchestrated. This showdown in Chicago is not an organic. It's not the citizens of Chicago rising up saying, no, we don't want ICE. We don't want National Guard. We don't want law and order. No, the citizens of Chicago are not the ones involved in this showdown. Those are paid protesters that are funded by drug lords, gangbangers, the Democrat Party, the communists, and the radical Islamists. And George Soros, of course. That is who's funding these agitators who are trying to continue to keep the streets. They want to control the turf. The drug gangbangers and the drug lords and the human traffickers and sex traffickers and organ traffickers and I'm telling you, slave trafficking, child trafficking. They want to continue to own the streets, to sell the drugs, to fund the political agenda of the left. It's been going on forever. Call it like it is. Let me read, though, a little bit. Who's behind it? It's a beast kingdom in these end times. It's a spiritual battle now being fought on the streets, and the apocalyptic showdown is against its lawlessness. It is lawlessness against law and order. I'm going to read, though. In recent decades, powerful groups have worked to accomplish the chaos through a concerted, well-funded campaign, often operating below the radar of most Americans, and that is sought to destroy the family, encourage licentious living, weaken our governmental and military structures, and promote secular humanism, progressive ideology, socialism, communism, and globalism. Many trace this decline to the 1962 U.S. Supreme Court decision removing prayer from schools, followed by the 1973 Supreme Court decision legalizing abortion nationwide. And since then, God has largely been kicked out of our government, our media, our education, and our businesses. As morality has plunged, lawlessness has increased. Our national debt soared to $32 trillion. Now it's $37 trillion since I wrote this book. You got to be kidding me. And believers have become the favorite targets of the cancel culture. It's beyond that now. We're not just targets of the cancel culture. We're now actual targets. Remember Charlie Kirk? Let me move on. With many experiencing censorship, loss of employment, and other forms of soft persecution, as a result, the American church has fallen mostly silent, or worse, has begun not only to believe, but also to preach some of these ideals, turning away from the plumb line of truth as written in Scripture and into a state of apostasy. In his best-selling book of 2022, Letter to the American Church, the author and syndicated radio host Eric Metastas revealed haunting similarities between what we see in our churches today and what happened in the German churches as Adolf Hitler rose to power. Metastas believes that 100% probability we will lose our freedoms and things will get unspeakably worse than they are now if the church does not speak up and push back the very hard against those seeking to silence it. It's not too late, but I think it is so close to too late that people have to understand this is not that kind of thing you can worry about a year from now, Mataska said. Either we get it now and we fight now and recruit others to fight, or it's over. In a 1932 sermon, German theologian and dissident Dietrich Bonhoeffer told his fellow ministers that they had abdicated their role as shepherds, quoting Revelation 2:5. Quote, "Consider how far you have fallen. Repent and do the things you did at first. If you do not repent, I will come to you and remove your lampstand or your candlestick from its place." He instinctively knew what was coming. At the time, the Nazis didn't advise or advertise that they were ideologically opposed to the church, that they had different values than Christians, but they crept to power stealthily. The Nazis knew that the moment they roused the church, they would be in trouble because Christians, if sufficiently awakened, would be a formidable enemy of National Socialism, which is atheistic and monstrous. Sadly, most of the German church went along with the Nazis. Most of them bought the lie. They were fooled. Bonhoeffer wasn't, according to Eric Metastas. The Nazis just said that they had to, just as today, the enemies of the church, the enemies of America, we just care about people, they'll say. We care about the kids and the kids' lives. We care about communities of color. Well, everything they're doing is destroying the kids and destroying the kids' lives and the communities of color and every community. But the church isn't just pushing back. The church isn't saying, "Excuse me, you socialist, you Marxist policies are destroying the freedom. You're destroying the economic freedom and the economic opportunities and possibilities, and you're crushing the poor." That's why I'm against socialism, and I'm against communism as well. And so I'm going to speak up because God called me to love the poor. But a lot of churches are so infected with guilt that they say, "Oh, who am I to give any pushback?" That is exactly what happened in Germany. The Nazis were so brazen that you had to pay a price if you were going to push back. And a lot of these pastors said, "Well, we prefer to take the soft road, the safe road, the middle road, and we're going to speak up. We're not going to do it. We're not going to speak up." That is what happened, and that is what opened the door to hell in Germany. And that's exactly what they want to do in America. I think what I wrote was absolutely dead on. I think that Eric Metastas was also dead on. And I'm telling you, when God showed me that the gates of hell were opening, that Apollyon was being released, and Russ Dizdar called it the Black Awakening. Now we're having a webinar this month. It's going to be October 24th. I don't have it up on the website yet, so you can't get your tickets yet. But it's called Darkness Descending, and I want to put a spotlight on the darkness. I want to put an absolute spotlight on the demons of hell that are trying to destroy America and the world. But meanwhile, today, we also focus on stay safe, and I just did a Patreon. You need to go watch it. Those of you who are members of my Patreon channel, go watch this 2-minute video. It's on the Patreon channel. You definitely want to see it. I just posted it about an hour ago, and I posted one yesterday that was very important as well. I'm trying to keep you up to speed every morning over at Patreon with the information I'm getting from our government insiders. And so that you'll stay alert and stay safe and understand what's really happening in your neighborhood, really. And right now, today is an important day. It is the second anniversary of the attack on Israel, and it is a dangerous, dangerous time. That's for sure. I'll be back with some more current world events and how they relate to biblical prophecy. Guys, we are truly living in the last days. I have a song here I'd like to play for you. This is by formerly Jacob. And let's see if I can find it here. Where is it? Hang on one second. It's called Jerusalem. Let me fix the sound. I want the sound to be nice and clear for you. So give me 1 second here to change that. There we go. This is formerly Jacob, called Jerusalem. Jeffrey Clarikoper, Israel Hall. Their album is at my website. You can get it. You can get this song on Spotify or iTunes.
We say shalom, shalom, but there is no peace. So much pain and sorrow from the river to the sea. But this is nothing new. History repeats. Where was Jacob's brother in his time of need? Why is there so much darkness upon this holy land? I thought that this was settled. Does the covenant still stand? With their backs against the wall, their faces toward the war, a fight for generations and all who've gone before. Oh, Jerusalem, Zion's daughters and sons, we stand with them until Yeshua comes. The hope of the Messiah who sets the captives free will come to sit on David's throne and reign in peace. So rest your weary hearts and look up to the sky. Baruch haba b'shem Adonai. Oh, Jerusalem, Zion's daughters and sons, we stand with them until Yeshua comes.
What a powerful song. That's Jeffrey Clare Coper and Israel Hall, and formerly Jacob. And so let's let Jeffrey help me a little more here on this song that I recorded called Rattle. It has to do with the prophecy of Ezekiel 37 and God's promise to restore Israel as a nation. So I'm going to do a little singing, but Jeffrey really will. And the music is incredibly orchestrated by Israel Hall and the band. Saturday was silent, and surely it was through. Since when has impossible ever stopped you? And Friday's disappointment is Sunday's empty tomb. Since when has impossible ever stopped you? This is the sound of a dry bones rattling. This is the praise make a dead man walk again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. Pentecostal fire, stirring something new. You're not gonna run out of miracles anytime soon. Your resurrection power, it runs in my veins too. I believe there's another miracle here in this room. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. This is the praise make a dead man walk again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. My God is able to save and deliver and heal and restore anything that He wants to. Just ask the man who was thrown on the bones of Elisha if there's anything that he can do. Just ask the stone that was rolled at the tomb in the garden what happens when God says to move. I feel Him moving it now. I feel Him doing it now. I feel Him doing it now. Do it now. Do it now. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. Yeah, this is the praise make a dead man walk again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Prophesy and say to them, thus saith the Lord God, behold, my people, I will open your graves and cause you to come up from your graves and bring you into the land of Israel. Then you shall know that I am the Lord, and I will put my spirit in you, and I will place you in your own land, and you shall live. I will place you in your own land. You shall live, live, live. What a powerful song. That's on my album, Harmonize and Prophesy. But here is Israel Hall and A.C. Cordell. One more song on this, the Feast of Tabernacles. As you send in your offerings, just go to our website at paulbegleyprophecy.com or pick up the phone and call right now, 765-414-2230. Or you can put a check or money order in the mail. There's the address going by. You can text give as well. Here's A.C. Cordell and Israel Hall, I Speak Love.
I know you need a helping hand to walk on home. I'm here for you every step you take. You're not alone. So don't go far away too long. We need you now. You're in our hearts. You're in our prayers. Just hold on. Nation to nation. Heart to heart, eyes wide open, love does its part, peace over you, and the land that is yours. We're walking together like never before, nation to nation, heart to heart, with eyes wide open, when love does its part, there's peace over you, and the land that is yours. We're walking together like never before, 'cause I speak love, and I speak peace.
Wow, what an amazing song. I Speak Love. That's Israel Hall and A.C. Cordell. You can get this song on Spotify or iTunes. Israel is in Jerusalem. Both of them, Israel and A.C. Cordell, are in Jerusalem right now. Matter of fact, Israel Hall just participated in a concert with Messianic gospel singer Eliana at the Garden Tomb today. As you're sending in your today, Feast of Tabernacles, today, the second anniversary of the Hamas Holocaust on Israel. That's what I call it, the Hamas Holocaust on Israel. 1,200 innocent Israeli civilians butchered, raped, and murdered. Babies burned in ovens, beheaded. This is the most horrific thing ever you could ever imagine. Evil, pure evil. 251 people drug into become hostages. 20 that are still suffering right now. 38 that are bodies that are dead. They can't get back to their families. As you give your Feast of Tabernacle offering, the final feast of the year until Hanukkah, the Lord said, just bring a gift, bring an offering. He said, those of you who have more, of course, you will give more, and those who have less will give less. Everyone gives according to how God has blessed them. It's in Leviticus chapter 23. We celebrate this feast while we commemorate the loss of these innocent. As you give today, pray for your families, pray for your finances, and pray for the hostages and their families. You can go to my website and give at paulbegleyprophecy.com. At paulbegleyprophecy.com. It's on the link below. Or you can just pick up the phone. The phone line is open. Call right now, 765-414-2230. Light up the phones. If you want to give right now, do that, and you can give your prayer request over the phone. If the line is busy, wait 5 minutes, call again. Just pick up the phone and call 765-414-2230. Let's light up the phones on this, the Feast of Tabernacles, with your offerings and your special prayer request. You could text give if you like. That number, you text the word give to this number, 765-722-2549. It's on the ticker as it's going by. 765-722-2549. You can text give. Or if you want to put a check or money order in the mail in these 7 days of celebrating of the Feast of Tabernacles, put a check or money order in the mail today with your special prayer request and mail it to our Indiana address. Send it to Indiana. Send it to Paul Begley Prophecy. Paul Begley Prophecy, 1048-B. That's 1048-B, Sagamore Parkway West. That's Sagamore Parkway West, Box 33, West Lafayette, Indiana. That's West Lafayette, Indiana, 47906. 47906. God bless all of you guys. Shalom, shalom. I'll be back with more today. I'm going to stay with you all day as it's an important day on this, the coming apocalypse. Showdown, Chicago. I'd rather have a prayer meeting in Chicago, to be honest.